Welcome back to the channel, and this video is solely on the cape swap on these two figures. And yes, you have to use some heat to remove the cape off of the neck and those shoulders. And as you'll see in a moment, it really doesn't take a whole lot, but you still have to be careful if you want to reuse the pieces on Dr. Hugo Strange. Now on Hugo Strange, this is what it looks like when you remove the actual cape. There is a piece of plastic that is pegged into the back. I broke half of it. Now I'll be reusing it to show you how the cape looks when you reinstall it. You don't have to use this, you can grind those down, but if you want to glue the cape onto the piece that's here, it's actually two pieces of plastic that are sandwiching the cape. And that's why you see that little tiny little bit of blue on the very front, and that is what holding the cape down in front of the chest. These are the two pieces. The one on the right is what holds it on the actual shoulders. That's the piece that you see visibly. The piece that I broke is the one on the left. That is where the cape actually glues onto on the body. That way you don't have to glue it directly to the body. Now you can reuse that and you'll never see it. The piece that you see is the one on the right hand side. Now on the Batman 66, the neck itself at the top is nothing but a cap. It slides over the actual cape. So it's a very small hole, and this is the correct way to actually install this cape, because it goes over the cowl. It does not come out from underneath the cowl. Now, unfortunately, because it is done this way, you very carefully have to pry it up with a screwdriver until you can loosen the cape. Now, on the Hugo Strange cape, do not cut the wire. Fold it over onto itself to meet the two edges. This is the cape from the Batman 66. It is a very small hole, and it is very easy to install on the Hugo body. Here it is, totally swapped out. And this is what most people do. They just swap out the cape directly and leave it as is. But really, does it really look good? In my opinion, it doesn't. It just looks okay. Let me show you what you can do if you go just a little bit further, because if you don't, it's going to look like this. Personally, it just doesn't look that great. Look what happens when you add the pleats. You iron on those pleats. If you don't want to sew, that's fine, but you can certainly use an iron and use the scallops as your guide all the way up to the top center of the neck. And the same thing for Hugo Strange. Iron on the pleats. Look how much better this looks when you turn it around. But if you want to go a step further, don't